What's up, guys? Coach Vassar here. Thank you for joining me with OTF Audio Daily Beats. As always, if you're new to these, thank you for tuning in, listening to me talk about these workouts. If you have any feedback, please let me know. That way I can give you a better experience. If you find value in this, information is in the description to support me. Other than that, we're going to jump into it. This is going to be Wednesday, January 15th. This will also repeat on Friday, January 31st. This is an ESP 30-30 day. We'll go over kind of everything, talk about the treads, weight floor rower, and then 3G. So when we look at key concepts today, we're going to see 3 blocks on the treadmills. Block 1 goes up, then down a hill, strength. Block 2, 4, 45 all outs with equal walk recovery in between, power. Block 3, we see how much distance you can cover in 9.5 minutes, endurance. Okay. For the rower, there's no rowing until block 3. Each time you row, you'll perform a 300-meter push row. On the floor, total body work in 3 different ways. Start by lifting heavy for strength, then power, and finish with endurance with high reps. All right, so you will need benches out, so just a heads up on that one. When we look at the tread side, 3 blocks, 90-second walk recovery between each block. Block 1 is 6 minutes, and we will see a hill pyramid where we will add 2% incline every minute, and then eventually take away incline every minute. Small changes. Now the goal here is to choose your own tread speed, adjust as needed. That way you maintain the called out incline. Power walkers, joggers, and runners are going to use the same incline throughout. Bikes and striders, we want them to start about 2 gears above their base. And then as the treadmills go up, the bikes will go up by 2 gears. And then when we go down on incline, they drop 2 gears. So they'll see 2, 4, 6, and then 4, and then back down to 2. Now for the joggers, runners, power walkers, we'll start first minute at 4% incline. Then they'll do 1 minute at 6%, and then they have 2 minutes at 8% incline. Then they go back down to 6, and they finish at 4. They choose their own speed, knowing that they start right at 4% right in the beginning. This might be an opportunity to maybe start at their base, or just above it, and as the incline goes up, they could pull back on that base speed, or on their speed, or they could try to maintain it. That 2 minutes in the middle is gonna be pretty tough as they hold that 8% incline. Knowing that we start at 4% and then can keep going up, heart rate should definitely be elevated and probably hit an orange within 90 seconds to 2 minutes of this first block, and it might stay there for the remainder of that 6-minute block. They'll have 90 seconds to recover, get back to base when they're ready, and then block 2, just over 5 minutes. This is the shortest block of the day. 4 rounds of a 45 all out, 45 walk recovery. And the goal is to maintain the all out intensity. So be aggressive, but maximize the rest on the other side. So have them drop that speed 3 or less every time. 4 rounds there, nice and simple, nothing too crazy. And then the final block, distance challenge. There are some recommended distances to aim for. I personally would mention this within the first 30 seconds of launching the block if you are tight on time when it comes to the 90-second setup. Otherwise, if you have time before they start, give them that information so that way they could choose an adequate speed, because the goal is to accumulate as much distance as possible. Power walkers, we're looking for half a mile using 1% incline or greater. Joggers, 0.7. Runners, 0.9 or more. On the bike, for the old one, it's 3 on the distance or further. The old strider is 2 or further. The new bike, new strider is probably around 2 as well. Okay, so they have 9-minute tread for distance, and then they finish with a 30-second all out. If you call back to like the 1 mile benchmark, opportunity to do like a progressive build, alternate between push and base, or even just hit and hold. Pick one pace, hold it the entire time until that all out. And of course, when they finish that all out, have them check their distance, get the confirmation that they hit that distance goal that we were looking for, and then they will rotate the room. For that one, definitely lots of orange by that 3rd, 4th minute onwards, as they kind of fight through that fatigue. When we look at the weight floor, block 1 and 2, just on the floor. Block 3 is going to be using the rowers as well. So on the weight floor for block 1, it's 2 movements for strength focus. You're going to do work and rest after each exercise. You're doing both sides as well. So single arm, rear foot elevated split squat off the bench. So whichever hand has the weight, that back foot is going to be elevated on your bench. 6 reps on each side. Go moderate to heavy. If anything, moderate the first round, heavy, and then heavier every repeat round. That's gonna be paired up with the single arm low row. Same hands, same knees on the bench as they drive that elbow back, keeping that weight close to them, and then all the way back down. Resting after each exercise. Now, it's something to be mindful of. The rest is gonna be more for like their grip strength because they're doing lower body and upper body. So hopefully they get through at least 2 rounds, so moderate and then heavy weight, because it's only 6 minutes. Now, block 2, this is gonna be timed up with the treads with rep and recover. Every 45 seconds, they are starting an exercise for a certain number of reps, whatever time is remaining, that is what they use for the recovery. And then the rounds are kind of matched up with the treads. So round 1, they'll have 1 attempt for each movement, 45 seconds for each one, alternating single arm neutral grip push press with rotation. So dumbbells are here, they dip, they drive, they press, and they rotate. Reset, dip, drive, press, rotate the other direction. That should take them probably around 10 to 15 seconds, which will give most people, about 30 to 35 seconds of recovery. And then they have the next 45 seconds to complete 4 reps of the alternating burpee to bench lateral hop over. So they'll do a burpee, hop over, come back. Super fun. 3 rounds set up like that. Round number 4 is the member choice round where they get to choose which movement they want to do for 45 seconds, okay? I guarantee you most people will probably do the push press because no one likes burpees, but it's okay. Burpees don't like you either, so just do them. All right. Great opportunity for options there. Obviously stepping back on the burpee, they could face the burpee or face the bench and do a burpee that way, and then turn and do the lateral step over. Give those options as needed. The final block, this is gonna be at the weight floor, and then people will go over to the rower and come back for 9.5 minutes. We're gonna see alternating single arm chest fly to closed grip chest press. So they'll start at the top, chest fly, both arms down, closed grip chest press, that's 1. Pick a weight for the chest fly, okay? Then they're gonna do a single dumbbell sumo deadlift to sumo squat. So wider stance, hips go back, then hips go down, that makes 1. They're gonna grab the dumbbell by the handle to also increase range of motion to really get that deep stretch in that full hinge or that full squat position. They'll do both of those movements, and then they have a 300-meter push row. They'll repeat that, most likely because of the movement patterns and the distance on the row. You should see 2 rounds for sure, maybe 2.5, 3 to finish out. Their finisher is their choice of either dumbbell movement or a 30-second all-out row for the final 30. When we look at the 3G version of this, 3 blocks on the treads, rower, weight floor, we'll see strength, power, endurance, and that's gonna be for all 3 groups. So on the tread side, block 1 for 4.5 minutes, we're gonna see the same inclines, but the durations are gonna be for 45 seconds each. So 45 seconds for 4%, 6%, 45 seconds twice for the 8%, so 1:30, and then they come back down. Then they'll have a 75-second walk recovery. Block 2 for 2.5 minutes, all outs and walk recoveries, but they're 30 seconds each. And there's only 3 of them. So maintain or increase. So this is a good call out for practice, perfect, perform. Hit that all out, see how it felt. Could you add it? Can you maintain? And then definitely try to do better on the last one. Block 3, another endurance challenge. They have 5 minutes now, 4.5 tread, and then a 30-second all out. Power walkers 0.3, joggers 0.5, joggers 0.4, runners 0.5, old bike 1.6, old strider 1.2, new bike, new strider probably 1.1, somewhere around there. They got 5 minutes to clear out the screen. Can they get that distance goal? Okay. On the rower, we'll see med balls over here for block 1. They're gonna do a 100-meter push row for strength. So they're gonna count and remember their strokes. And they wanna complete their row distance in the same or fewer strokes every round. So emphasize a controlled stroke rate, 20, no more than 24. They should be able to complete this honestly in about 5 to 10 strokes if they do well with form. And that's gonna paired up with the med ball overhead, alternated march in place. So core braced, elbows are locked out, med ball overhead. Every step is 1, they have 10 total. They'll rest, then they go back to the row. Block 2 is gonna be timed up with the treads. They have the all outs followed by a recovery row and maintain or increase all out intensity each round. And then on the third block, another endurance one, accumulate as much distance. The goal is to get anywhere from 900 to 1300 meters in the 5 minutes. Have them use that 5-minute stored program. They'll do a 4.5-minute row for distance and then a 30-second all out just to make sure they can empty it out and get as close to that distance goal as they can. On the weight floor side, we're gonna see the sumo squat, rest, and then single arm low row. 6 reps for each of those movements for your strength block. Block 2 is going to be rep and recover. So they're going to do work and rest. So they do 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of recovery, and they're going to do a rep challenge here. And the goal is to stay within 2 reps of the previous round. And it is that push press with rotation. So they have 30 seconds. How many reps can they get? They'll probably get about 10 to 20, somewhere in that range. More if they do lighter weight, less if they do heavier. Take that 30-second rest, rinse and repeat 2 more total times. And then the final block, we will see the single arm chest fly to close grip chest press for 6 reps. So left arm, right arm, both arms close grip. And then the sumo deadlift. All right. So they took that combo sumo deadlift, sumo squat from block 3 on the 2G, and they just split up those 2 movements and use them. So you don't see the split squats here or the burpees. There's no burpees in the 3G. Oh, darn. Member choice finisher for either of those 2 movements for the final 30 seconds. And that is your Wednesday workout or Friday. As always, any feedback, let me know. Otherwise, you guys coach it down.